As many of you may know, the spread of COVID-19 has become a lot worse, and we are currently back in lockdown. And I know that a lot of people have been citing the statistical information of past pandemics on how there has never been a time in history really where we didn't have a second wave, which is true, but the fact still remains that this is something none of us have any experience dealing with. What are we supposed to do emotionally when we are told you cannot be indoors with groups of 10 people or larger? You have to stay away from friends, family, acquaintances, and anyone really who isn't in your immediate household, which can be hard for a lot of people. It really is. Human beings were designed with a need for community. None of all of this works, especially for survival, unless we have each other. And for me, I really miss my parents. I miss being able to hug them or talk to them face to face whenever I need advice in life. This is the type of loneliness that I'm struggling with, which sounds weird to say because we usually associate loneliness with isolation or having no friends. But for me, loneliness is kind of a social pain that I feel whenever I'm lacking interaction from the people I care about. And on the flip side of that, I can only imagine what my parents are going through. 8 months ago, my daughter was born, and she is the first grandchild in our family. My parents have waited years and years for this moment, and sadly, through no fault of their own, they've been forced to miss it. Now, this is a decision that was made for them. It's tough, it really is, and I just don't have any other words on how to describe it, because at a certain point, we all reach our limits. I know I'm very fortunate to live such a privileged life up until this point. There are so many people in this world that don't have parents or family members they can lean on, but somehow that shouldn't take away from the fact that I have feelings too. We all do. This past weekend marks a celebration of Canadian Thanksgiving, which is my second favorite holiday behind Christmas. It's not just about the food, but it's more about the people you share a meal with. And yes, I know this may sound kind of weird as most of you are probably accustomed to celebrating Thanksgiving in November. I guess, I don't know, it's because of our weather in Canada. You know what? To be perfectly honest, I don't even know why we have Thanksgiving in different months. I probably should have Googled that before filming this video, but I'm just going to assume that it's because it gets colder here sooner or something. Anyway, the point of all this was I was finally able to bring my daughter up north to see my parents, and I was hoping that my visit would somehow cleanse my feelings of loneliness, but unfortunately it didn't. Having to socially distance from them, wear a mask, and not being able to go upstairs and share a meal with them was disheartening. This is not how human interactions are supposed to be. I can see them with my own eyes, I can hear their voices echo from the stairwell, but how is that any different than a Zoom call or FaceTime? It almost feels artificial, and I don't know what to do anymore. Yo!
What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Damn, man. It's Spanish.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, see you too, bro.
I
Tell your
know.
parents to say Thanksgiving too, man.
Yeah, I'll let them know. I know that this call is super random, but I actually need some advice because I know that you're kind of in a similar situation to me where we both kind of, I don't know what you call it, we live far from our parents, right? And all this like social distancing stuff is kind of tough. But do you ever go through periods of like loneliness or like missing them through all of this?
Throughout at the beginning of COVID, you mean?
Yeah, like with the whole quarantine stuff.
Yeah, man. Like especially at the beginning, because we didn't really know what was going on, right? So the first 3-4 months, I think we didn't see them at all. It's just all video calls and phone calls, right? So
Yeah.
it's different being there in person than seeing them on like smartphone, right?
Because doesn't it feel
So
almost
yeah,
fake or not real? Like just doing a Zoom call or FaceTiming them, it's different, right?
yeah, it's not the same, man. Like obviously when you see your parents, you want to hug them, you want to just like just kind of it's different being in person, being in the room, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, man. Like especially for the first 3 4 months, man, it was actually really hard because we didn't see anybody, and I guess this is for everybody else too. You were just locked up in your house, and yeah, we didn't get to see them, and the only time we really got to see them, like I told you, was just on a video call. So it was tough, man. It did get kind of tough, especially for us because we used to see my parents every weekend before that, or
yeah.
every other weekend. So we saw them a lot before that. So it was tough.
Well, so now it's like you hardly see them at all then, right?
Now it's just like I guess since we're going through a second wave, I feel like it's starting up again. So before in between, we kind of saw them maybe once every few weeks, once a month.
Yeah,
So we would see them, which was really good, man, because it's the summertime too. But now that the second wave is coming back, I feel like we're doing the same thing that we did before. We're kind of have the distance from them and just do everything on just the phone again, which kind of sucks, man, right? Because
yeah.
your parents, man, like my parents are getting older too. I just want to be there as much as I can with them. So it's kind of sad not seeing them as much as we want to. And same goes for Mary too, man. Like she doesn't to see her mom as often as well. So
Yeah, that's tough. Because I know, especially for both of us, like we have young daughters, right? And our parents have probably waited like their whole lives to see their grandchildren, right? And this is what's
yeah,
been like bothering me and why I feel kind of, I don't know, it's like I miss them like more than I
yeah,
usually do. Because the fact that like not only am I missing out on seeing them physically, but also like our daughters as well, right?
yeah. No, same situation here, man. Like my mom calls all the time saying, "Oh, I want to see Zoe so much. I want to see her so bad,"
Yeah,
and it's just so hard, right? Like you when we like because of the pandemic, Zoe is like not used to seeing them in person anymore, so it kind of distanced them in a way as well. Where every time she sees them, she kind of gets scared and runs back to us, right?
oh wow,
So it kind
really?
of affected their relationship in a way, right? And it kind of sucks because I guess it was a crucial part of her growing up. Just she should be around people that she knows, so that she knows what communicating or talking to people like is like, other than just her parents and her like siblings, right? But
Yeah,
the pandemic it kind of ruined all that,
I
which
know
kind of
it's tough,
sucks.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm at the cottage right now, and
yeah,
I'm forced to distance from them just in terms of safety. Like I'm pretty much locked down on the bottom floor, and they're on the top floor, and I can't see them at all, really. And I'm even wearing a mask when I do come close to them, right?
yeah.
And it's like I don't really know what to do.
Have they seen Tifa at all? Like, have they?
Yeah, they've seen her, but they can't hold her, right? So there's no physical
Yeah,
interaction
it's
at
tough.
all. Yeah, so it's really hard.
Yeah, see, they didn't talk in your situation because they're there, but you can't really do anything.
Yeah, they're literally
It's like,
just above
yeah,
the floor where I am right
mhm,
now. But I
yeah,
can't bring myself to go up there and put them at risk, right?
yeah.
So I
That's
don't know. The
I
whole situation is tough,
really.
right?
Are you holding up though?
I'm okay. I'm all right. It just this is like the first time I've like actually legit feel like kind of lonely. It's weird. I don't know. And it's
Yeah,
just like who do you talk to about this kind of stuff, right? It's like a weird
yeah.
subject. Are you just hoping to keep doing Zoom calls, keep doing FaceTime, and just hope for the best and that we find a cure? Like, are you doing anything in particular to, kind of keep your sanity?
When it comes to like seeing my family, I feel
Yeah.
like we still try to like what you did. I guess you're there seeing them. Like whenever we see them, I guess we try to social distance. It's kind of hard, like I said, man. Like when you see them, it's like you want to hug them, you want to
Yeah,
like
exactly.
to be around them, right? So even like wearing the mask thing, I feel like we started doing that at first, but then it just felt so weird, like especially around your family. But like I understand, like we have like I want to keep them safe. Like
Yeah,
I'm
of
trying to keep
course.
them safe as much as possible, right? So for now, like I said, like we just back to these video calls, and we're still trying to see them once in a while,
Yeah.
because even if it's just once a month or once every whatever, because we still want to see them. We want our kids to see like their grandparents, right? We don't want them to just kind of lose touch again. So as much as possible, even if you have to wear masks or like stand 6 feet apart, I know it sucks, but I think it's better than nothing.
Yeah, true. Okay, makes sense. Glad to know that like I'm not the only one going through, the tough times of disconnecting from our parents, right?
Yeah, it's like really crappy situation.
Yeah, true. All right, thanks for the advice, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
Yeah, say hi to
Take care,
the
man.
family if you see them. Tell them Happy Thanksgiving and stay
Thanks, man.
safe,
Miss you,
man.
man. Miss you, man.
All right, bro. Talk to you later. I definitely don't think I have all the answers for these questions. The subject of loneliness as a whole is way too broad to be summarized in a short video. But I think, regardless of your situation, if you are experiencing feelings of loneliness like I am, then you should at the very least try to work them out. Even though Zoom calls and FaceTime aren't traditional forms of communication, at the very least, they allow us to stay in touch with one another. My call with Bryan was a perfect example of that. It gave me comfort to know I'm not the only one who is struggling with social interaction. You never know what other people are going through unless you ask. And whether you are in lockdown, forced to quarantine, or are just socially distancing the best you can, it's important to take care of your own mental health. Don't ignore it. We all need to do our part in keeping each other safe, but at the same time, we need to recognize that loneliness, depression, and anxiety are at an all time high. The solutions to these problems have not made themselves apparent yet. However, I think in order to overcome loneliness, the first step you need to take is to actually admit it. And that's something that shouldn't be frowned upon. Now, I'm not entirely sure where I was going with this video, as I've actually ended up with a lot more questions than answers. This video was kind of a spur of the moment thing, which I didn't plan at all, but I thought maybe there was some value in sharing how I felt in the present moment. And yes, I'm currently at my parents' house for the weekend. We decided that it just wouldn't be safe to have our normal giant size family Thanksgiving dinner, considering that the COVID numbers are rising. So we ended up just having a small, socially distanced dinner where we stayed in the basement and my parents stayed upstairs. It feels so strange to see them, but not see them. It's like we've resorted to leaving trays of food at the top of the stairs, and I have to go up there and get them in order to maintain my distance. The whole thing just feels crazy. In closing, I just wanted to say if you are like me and you're struggling with loneliness during the lockdown, remember that you're not the only one. All of us, in one sense or another, are going through some kind of social loneliness. Don't be afraid to reach out to a family member or a friend, as they might have some encouraging words that could help get you through this. Or maybe they're the ones that are in need of your call and help, and your advice can make a huge difference in their life. Whatever the outcome, you'll never find out unless you reach out. And at the end of the day, that's all we can really ask for. So hopefully you guys can stay safe. I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.